Welcome to Movie Life Crisis. Join us as we watch the best movies from 30 years ago.
From Hollywood Pictures, critics are declaring Quiz Show the best American movie this year. USA Today gives it 4 stars and says Robert Redford's direction equals his Oscar-winning job on Ordinary People.
You have 21!
Joel Siegel calls it great filmmaking.
Sign the thing, sign this thing. Who cares if it's true?
It's the must-see movie of the fall.
Are you telling me everybody got the answers but you?
Quiz Show, rated PG-13.
Starts Friday at select theaters. Check newspapers for showtimes.
Oh, sweet. I like that at the end, dude. I know we talk about it all the time, but when it's like, starts Friday, check local listings.
Check newspapers for showtimes. Check what for what now? The what room?
Oh, man. Dude, I can remember being in the quote, kids room at Oak Knoll and in the summer and saying like, oh, man, let's go see a movie. And then we go get the newspaper from the bar area. We find the thing, or we call and listen to the guy who recorded it with his mouth.
Welcome to Movie Phone. Yeah, dude, it was you either found an actual physical paper or you would you had to call the number. And calling the number could be kind of frustrating because you have to find the right theater and then you have to find the right listing. And then if you're like kind of ADD like me, right as I got to the movie you cared about, you get distracted by something and you're like, shit, I got to do this all over again.
Well, I can remember like, did we ever have Movie Phone? I don't remember Movie Phone.
No,
I remember
I think we had like
some
local
dude
people.
Yeah, it was just a recording of a guy like at the University Theater, Speed.
Yeah, Town
at
and Country.
7 o'clock.
Time Cop.
Right. And at the mall, Hammond Square Theater, or whatever they called it. Yeah. But checking the local listings is definitely something we did.
Oh, man. Movie Life Crisis, Season 4, Episode 13, Quiz Show.
Quiz Show. Man, I'm glad you told us to watch this.
Yeah. I was, I can't remember. This is right when I first started watching this movie, I was like, this is the kind of movie that I'm glad we're doing this. I'm like, glad we're doing it for Time Cop because it's stupid and it's fun to talk about.
Right.
But I'm also glad we're doing it for this type of stuff because I would have never watched this again.
That's where, and we'll talk about it when we get to ratings. But a lot of times, how my rating is how much it is rewatchable.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'll never watch this again. I mean, I'm glad I watched it. I liked it a lot. But does it have rewatchability? Does that count into...
I don't think so. That's part of how I rate my movies too. It's like not like is this an artistic masterpiece, but it's like this is on a scale of 1 to 10 how much I want to watch this more,
right?
Or like how important this movie is to my personal life story, or how much like I want to talk about it with people who like 90s movies.
Yeah. I got to be honest. I had never seen it, and when I pulled it up and I saw that it was Robert Redford directing, I was like, "This bitch is making me watch this because it's Robert Redford, isn't he?"
I was so happy that right in the very beginning, in the opening credits, it was like a Robert Redford film. I was like, oh, I can't wait to hear what Jeff's reaction is. But then he's not in the movie; he's just directing. So
right, and because he was behind the camera, it worked out great for me. I enjoyed it. Didn't have to see him.
Although I will say one of the reasons why they claimed at the time that this movie didn't do as well as it should have is because it was supposed to go to a couple of festivals, and in at least one of them in particular, Robert Redford was like, I'm not personally going to that festival because I started Sundance. So like, I'm going to go to that. I'm not going to like cheat on Sundance with other festivals. And they're like, well, we're not showing the movie if you don't come because you're famous. And he's like, well, don't show the movie.
Oh,
and
great.
And then it was like, well, the studio was kind of pissed off at him. And I was like, that's awesome. I loved it.
He's like, I already got my check.
Yeah. He's
picture. I don't need your money. As soon as I saw Robert Redford, I thought for sure you picked it just because of that.
I didn't. I just thought it was nominated for a bunch of stuff, and I couldn't remember it that well. But I was like, that's got fun people in there. I'd like to go check that one out again.
Yeah, I'm glad, dude. I'm glad you did. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah. All right, Movie Life Crisis. I'm JT. You're Jeff. What else we got going on? Big just came out on Patreon, doing 1988 stuff on Patreon.
So good. My daughter freaking loves that movie.
Yeah, dude, it's fantastic. It's really good and
super funny.
Yeah, and let's do this thing, man. Give us a synopsis.
Set in the 1950s, Quiz Show tells the true story of the 21 Quiz Show scandal, where contestant Charles Van Doren becomes the national hero until it's revealed that the show is rigged. The film explores themes of ethics, truth, and corrupting power of fame. when it says based on a true story, typically that means there was a guy named Charles somewhere in the story, and that's all that's real. But this was pretty close, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely some, like, anytime it's based on this true story, someone's like, well, I was wearing a different color tie that day. It's bullshit.
Right.
Like, he was like, they didn't even include my girlfriend. I was like, who cares, dude? Like, there's like 16 characters in this movie. What? We don't have room for your girlfriend. Get over it.
Right. And I understand, like, taking creative liberties to make it.
And, like, the actual investigation took 3 years, and they compressed it into a 1 year period. I don't care. Like, I'm fine with it. I don't.
Yeah, great. I don't want to live the whole thing. This is a movie. Wrap it up.
Let's focus on the important part. I don't even care if freaking textbooks do that. I don't want them to lie to me, but if you want to simplify the story to make it more memorable, I'm okay with that.
That's exactly what history teachers do all day.
Yeah. Budget $31 million, gross $52 million. So this thing did not do great. Financial disappointment is the words that I saw. So it's number 56 on the year, way behind Time Cop, and right in the neighborhood of Renaissance Man.
First of all, this is not Renaissance Man.
No, it's not.
Second, I can't believe Time Cop beat this.
Oh, dude, Time Cop stomped this. Time Cop did real well internationally, obviously.
Yeah, over in Belgium, where they dip their fries in mayonnaise.
Making some waffles, seeing Jean-Claude Van Damme movies.
JCVD.
Awards, dude, it's was nominated for 9 million things.
Yeah, well, at the Academy Awards, it was nominated for Best Picture, Best Director, Best Supporting Actor for Paul Scofield, and Best Adapted Screenplay. It won at the BAFTA Awards for Best Editing.
And I have it winning at BAFTA also for Best Adapted Screenplay.
Oh, snap. I must have missed that one.
Yeah, so it was nominated. This is one of those, like, didn't make any money, awards darling movies. Didn't win any, but was nominated for a lot. I mean, I guess it did win some stuff, but didn't win. It didn't win the Oscars.
Once we get to the end of this year, we could see what it was put up against, and I can tell you why it didn't win. But like, I just, I don't know. It was good, but I just didn't feel like it needed to win anything. I don't know.
Most of the best pictures, it's like, what? Who saw that pile of crap? Like, people who just like really don't like themselves and are not fun at all at parties.
But, the pianist, right?
But dude, 94, the best picture nominees: Forrest Gump, Pulp Fiction, Shawshank Redemption, Quiz Show, 4 Weddings and a Funeral. That is friggin' 3 incredible movies and 2 okay movies, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. So, but I can see how
that's going to be real close to our freaking our Nathan's year-end movie awards. Like Forrest Gump and freaking Shawshank Redemption are probably going to be on our lists.
Yeah, and where's Time Cop on there? Not on that list.
Honorable mention.
Honorable mention for JCV.
Best Belgian picture.
Yeah, I could see how it could be nominated for stuff, but
it's an honor to be nominated in that class. That is a freaking murderer's row right there.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one.
Sequels or spinoffs? I didn't see any like TV or film, but this story has been told a bunch, like in books and stuff like that.
Yeah. Plus, people are still trying to beat game shows.
Boy, are they! But I don't think that's because of this. I think that's because game shows give you money.
Yeah, then that's definitely why. But
remember, in this first time I saw this, I was talking to my wife about this, and I was 14 when this came out, so this was not really in my wheelhouse. It's like, oh, so no one explodes and there's no boobs at all. Does a bus go really fast? And if it goes slower,
does Jean-Claude Van Damme jump up in his kitchen and land on a split?
Well, he's fighting Bebop and Rocksteady. I'm out. But she's a little bit older. She's like, oh, Quiz Show. I remember that. Ralph Fiennes, he's cheating. I was like, hey, take it easy. Spoiler alert. So she remembered it, but I really didn't. I mean, I did remember that it was about a cheating scandal that it was based on a true story. But when I was watching, I was like, I don't really remember any of this, like specifically. So I don't know if I ever saw all of this.
I never saw any of it. I knew of it, but I never saw it.
Nice.
So that the first time I watched it was last week. And then since then I've watched a couple of clips again to just like refresh it in my memory while I was writing my notes out. Again, it's a good movie. I just don't know that I'll ever watch it again.
Yeah. What? So I have a question for you. What is Geritol?
I only know this from 23 years of CVS.
That's why I'm asking you.
Yeah, it's a multivitamin with iron.
Dude, I thought for sure that was like a hair cream or something. I was like, Geritol is such a terrible name for a multivitamin.
It really is. I
Have
gotta
they
be
thought
honest.
about Flintstones? Because that's the good name for multivitamin.
I
shit tastes
thought
like candy.
I thought Geritol was to make you poop. This whole I thought it was a
Yeah,
laxative.
dude. It definitely sounds like a multivitamin that you would take as a suppository.
Right. Ointment or suppository. So yeah, but then when I started working there, I realized it's a lot of older people because it has iron in it. So like, that's why people say like iron poor, tired blood or something like that in the little tagline, that, Shooter McGavin said.
Yes.
That's it's just because it's iron. It helps you feel less. It's got B vitamins and iron and multivitamin, so it helps you feel awake, I guess.
It's got electrolytes, which is what plants crave.
It's great. Oh man, so good. That's such
Marge,
a good
maybe I'm
movie.
not getting enough estrogen.
Finally with an extra drop of Redson.
How'd you rate this?
All right, dude. So I wanted to give it a 7, but we don't do 7s.
No.
We ain't got no 7s.
No.
But as much as I don't like Robert Redford, he did a really good job of telling the story. I didn't feel like it was super long. What was it, like 2 hours?
Yeah, it was like 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Yeah, I can. It didn't lose my attention.
Yeah.
So I gave it an 8. I was gonna go 6.5 because I'll never watch it again, and it's Robert Redford.
Yeah.
But I couldn't do it, dude. It told the good story, and I enjoyed it. So the settings were really well put together. Like it looked like the 1950s.
Yeah.
So like they did a good job. So like all of that, well directed, well acted, well written. 8.0.
Yeah, man. It's I don't know. I was kind of feeling like I agree with everything you're saying, but to me, it's like when I hear a song and like every part of the song is well done, I can tell they did a good job, but I also don't care about the song.
Right.
Like it's kind of like I was thinking about this when I was watching. It's kind of like how I feel about Taylor Swift. Her music sounds like great music, but I don't care at all about any of it. I don't. There's not a single song where I'm like, hell yeah, let's play that again. Like I know they're doing a good job. Like everyone involved is doing top-notch work, but it does not grab me at all. And that's how I felt about this. But this is like, dude, the production design's great, the music's great, the casting's great, freaking acting and the direction is great. And the whole time I was like, I don't care at all. I'm so bored by this. Not because they're not doing a good job, just because for whatever reason, I don't know if it's a story or if it's because I was trying to finish watching it this morning and I had a bunch of stuff to do, or if it's just a complicated story to tell and I just wasn't in the right like headspace for it. But I was like, I don't care.
Or you just don't care about whether or not they lie and it's entertainment. Is a game show entertainment? That's the whole moral of the story, right? Like,
yeah, but I think it is an important movie because it's like, this is in the late 50s. This is when people are starting to realize like, you know what? TV might lie to you. And also your government might lie to you. Like that's stuff that people didn't know in like 1952 that by like 58 they did know. Like that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I totally agree.
I ended up giving it a 6 out of 10 because I was just like, it's too long for me and I don't know why, but I don't care about it. And I have to rate it in a way that reflects that because everyone's doing a great job and I don't care.
Can you pick stuff out that you like, oh man, I could take 30 minutes out of this easy?
No, a lot of times I can, but this time I think the story is so complicated. I was trying to read about the adaptation and it's like there's no protagonist, there's no like clear hero. I mean, it's kind of told through the lawyer Goodwin.
Right.
But he's not he's not really a protagonist. And then there's all these like intermingling storylines. I was like, this thing's so complicated. I don't know how you can make it simpler. I'm sure they probably wanted to. So I think it's maybe just as a complicated story that's like, I don't know. It's a little bit more nuanced. And that's probably why people really liked it. And if I watched it again at another time when I was freaking wide awake and had tons of free time, I might go like, shit's awesome. I wish they did more movies like this.
Right.
I don't know. I mean,
I would say the vast majority of the people that are going to watch this aren't going to have a lot of time
left on Earth.
No, I'm saying like, are there people with just tons of free time nowadays other than my parents?
Dude, I don't know.
I don't have any free time. I was the same way though. Like I see what you're saying. Like everybody did such a great job. I just don't know that I'll ever watch it again.
Well, like when we got finished, we keep we capture our favorite quotes and our favorite scenes and our favorite characters. And I got to the end, that shit was all empty. Like I had to go like, did anybody say anything that whole movie that I thought? And they did. I went and looked up like the script and read through. I was like, there's actually a bunch of good quotes. I just didn't. None of them grabbed me when the person said them. And then scenes, I was like, I don't know. There's like 8 or 9 scenes that are all kind of equally good, but there's not like, if that shit's on, I'm definitely watching. When the bus jumps the interchange, I'm definitely gonna watch that part. Like, which congressional hearing do I definitely not want to skip past? I don't.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, man. Let's do some scenes. What's your first scene?
My first scene that I wrote down, I only wrote down 2. Charles Van Doren starts winning.
Yeah.
Herb Stempel,
John
played
Turturro.
by John Turturro, who killed
That's
it.
the best.
Yeah. He keeps going to the district attorney and doing all the stuff, trying to get people to notice, like, hey, some stuff's going down. Trying to also get on TV by talking to Enright.
Yeah, the network
Paymer,
guy.
David Paymer, yeah.
Or the producer of the show.
Right. There's a montage right there where it's just back and forth with the two contrasting things.
Yeah.
One dude's winning and getting all the fame. The other guy's just dropping further and further away. That's the first one I put because I liked it. Thought it was good.
I love John Turturro. I was so happy that he was in this. And like, I know Ralph Fiennes is a good actor and I don't dislike him, but I feel like he never does movies that I want to see. So I actually I've not seen that much stuff that he's been in. Like when I was looking at it.
Schindler's List, we already did one with him, huh?
Yeah, dude, he was freaking terrifying in that.
God, he was so scary.
But yeah, again, it's like I'm not throwing on Schindler's List like just randomly. Like I've watched that like 4 times my whole life.
Let's put on Schindler's List in the background.
Yeah, we're having a barbecue. Throw on Schindler's List. I would throw on the Schindler's List soundtrack, but not the movie. Not unless it's time for everyone to go home.
Right. That's a good way to do that.
But yeah, and I guess he was friggin' in Harry Potter, but he had the crazy Lord Voldemort makeup on, so I don't think like, hey, Ralph Fiennes. But
yeah.
But no, man, he's awesome. John Turturro is awesome. I like that scene. I do love a montage, and that's one where it's like you got to get a lot of stuff done. Let's do cut back and forth from these two guys that are doing different things.
Yeah, but the way that they show how they're actually taking different paths and going further and further apart. Like the Ralph Fiennes character, the Van Doren is winning and he's getting all of the fame and all of the stuff that
getting all the
Stempel
stuff
wanted.
That Stempel wanted and that he was getting for a while, and then the ratings started to dip. So it's like John Turturro's character was on Quiz Show, and like the ratings started to plateau, and they're like, hey, people don't love you anymore. You're going to lose. And then someone in the news is going to come in. He's like, I don't want to lose. I like to be on TV. I like to make the money. And they're like, well, you're doing it anyway. And then they bring in Van Doren, who's like the golden boy, and he's a professor at Columbia, and he's a Gentile. And so Stempel's getting more and more angry as Van Doren's like all over the place.
Well, I think it's weird to me because I didn't know, again, 30 years ago, spoiler alert, I didn't know that Stempel I was getting the answers to. Yeah. So the whole time he was just like, I don't want to lose. I know the answer to that. I'm not going to do that. Couldn't they have just not given him the answers and made him lose?
Yeah, dude. I mean, this is the same thing that people are still like figuring out. Like, why do they on House Hunters always pick? Like, dude, they pick the house before the show is filmed. That's how none of that shit is real. It never has been. It wasn't then. Right. It's not now. Like, right. TV producers are not trying to leave stuff up to chance. They are making it like, are you attractive? You're probably going to do well in this game show. If not, probably not so much.
Right. Well, those reality shows that started where it's like Naked and Afraid and like the Housewives show.
Yeah.
When you start to watch those and realize that there's producers right off screen going, hey, do something with the knife. Do that.
Yeah. Like, take this brick. Go ahead and let's get us some Gucci glass.
Like, I don't want to know that. Like, I used to like Naked and Afraid. And then when I read an article where some dude was like, I was never alone. And some of the cameramen would just throw me like food every once in a while, like a granola bar. I'm like, what? You said you went the whole time and all you ate was a lizard. Like,
yeah, dude. Like my dad will just, if like golf or baseball's not on, he'll just throw on like Pawn Stars. And he's like, hang on, after this commercial break, we'll go get dinner. I'm like, dude, they literally filled that locker up with treasure and then they locked it, and then they unlocked it for this guy. None of this is
Yeah.
real. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
He's just enjoying it. And like,
Right.
and I don't tell him that because I know when I do tell him that, he'll stop enjoying it. I'm like, whatever, it doesn't matter. They're not asking him for any money. They're not asking him to vote for someone. Just let him enjoy.
Yeah.
It's all made
just-
up.
It's all made up and the points don't matter.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like certain things, I'm okay with knowing how the sausage is made. If I watch a movie and I'm like, oh, look at that, you can tell like there was a spring in the back and it pulled them off of the frame, and that's how they made it look like an explosion. I'm okay with that.
But that's because you know that a movie is supposed to be fiction, and this stuff is given to us and presented as though it is
that's
really
true.
happening.
You're
and
right.
then the fact that it isn't is like the whole format is we're being lied to, and you either don't know and you're okay with it, or you do know and you're okay with it.
I wish I didn't know. I wish I could still turn on Naked and Afraid and enjoy that.
I wish
But
I could go
cannot.
back to the days before I knew things. Dude, I'm with you, man. Life would be, the world would be worse, but my life would be easier if I didn't know what was going on.
God.
My first scene, and I had to struggle to get through, is the poker game. When Goodwin is the like Harvard lawyer who starts to investigate this stuff from the subcommittee, figuring out that the quiz show is kind of rigged, and he's like,
Yeah.
he's talking to Herb Stempel and he's talking to Van Doren. He gets to be kind of friendly with Van Doren because they're just upper crust Ivy League guys.
Right.
So he's at the poker game, and he can see that Van Doren is like, he just starts to get the sense that he actually, because he's currently on quiz show, he's on 21. He's like, he starts to
Right.
feel that he actually is getting the answers, and they're
Yeah.
playing poker, and he says something. He's like, and Goodwin looks at him. He's like, I know you're lying. And Van Doren's like, bluffing.
It's bluffing.
It's called
Yeah.
bluffing.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was one scene where I was like, I like this. And also
Yeah.
Timothy Busfield was in the poker scene, and I love Timothy Busfield.
There, yeah, and so was Guilfoyle. I can't think of his first name.
Yeah.
Paul Guilfoyle, the guy from like Air Force One and Primary Colors. He always plays that same kind of guy. He was there too. I liked it.
Yeah.
I like that scene. Plus, right before that, when his dad was talking to him, and he met him at the when Van Doren's dad met him at the thing, and he told him about, if you can't find the sucker in the first couple of minutes, you're the sucker.
I know. I like that one.
Reminded me of Rounders.
I was saving that one for Rounders, so I didn't put it in this one. But
Nice.
I do like that quote.
Nice.
What's your next scene?
Dude, my only other scene was when Charles Van Doren goes to his dad at Columbia, who is a literature teacher also.
Yeah.
And he ends up telling him that he's getting the answers and asks his dad to come with him in front of Congress, in front of the congressional committee. I like that part. That was, I think Ralph Fiennes did a really good job of portraying, like, I want to not let my dad down, but also I want to tell him the truth, and I need to get this burden off of me. So what do I do?
Yeah, man. Dude, Ralph Fiennes is an incredible actor. He doesn't, I know that he and I would not be good friends because the types of movies that he wants to do are not the types of movies that I like. But every time I see him in something, he's freaking fantastic.
Yeah,
Like, dude, he's
really
terrifying
is.
in Schindler's List. He's really likable in this. Then he's Lord Voldemort. Like, that dude's got range.
Yeah, he does.
But
He's really good.
he's fantastic. And I almost put that scene in there. I do like that one. And I think the most interesting part of this movie to me, and if I was trying to make it simpler, I would maybe focus less on the conspiracy and more on just the Stempel and Van Doren. Like, just the fact that this guy's like has everything going for him, but because he lives so far in his dad's shadow, he's like still going to break the rules to be famous for a little bit.
Right.
Like, I think that's the
Yeah.
part to me that's really interesting. And when he has to tell his dad, like, hey, by the way, I can't just go tell the truth because I was one of those people they were giving the answers to, even though I knew them mostly.
I think it's cool that the fact that we can both say, like, hey, I like this part for the conspiracy. I like this part for this part, like this living in his dad's shadow thing. Like, I think it's cool that there's layers to this movie. It makes me okay with giving it an 8, even though I'm never going to watch it again. And Robert Redford can burn in hell. So, like,
He could burn in his ranch in Jackson Hole because he's still very much alive.
Yeah, well, I've been to Jackson Hole. Hell's not that far off.
My next scene is actually kind of along those same lines with the Van Doren and his dad. It's the scene where they're at his dad's birthday party.
Oh yeah,
and like everyone just wants to talk to him because he's the most. There's only freaking 2 channels at this point in time, so he's like one of the most famous people in America, and all of his freaking brothers and his cousins and everybody wants to just talk to him. But it's his dad's birthday, and his dad just keeps like kind of bringing the attention back to him and like kind of like very indirectly putting him down.
Yeah. with quotes from old poems.
Yeah, and I was like, all right, so you can kind of see, like, even though this dude is crushing it, that he's actually, like, doesn't love being a professor who works at the same school in the same office as his dad, who's also a professor, who's, like, way more famous.
Right, who's been doing it longer. That scene that you just mentioned has the part where he talks about King Leopold, the Belgian king, and that's the question that he gets wrong, and that's what tips off. So
it tips off Goodwin because he was at the dinner. He's like, I know you know that because I was literally sitting with you at your dad's party where you're talking about this king of Belgium.
Right. That was a good twist. I don't know if that really happened, but
I don't know either. But this is a good script. Like it deserved the freaking nominations and stuff that it got. But I don't.
It deserved the 6 that you gave it.
It did. It did because that's my true feelings. Dude, the script was great. I give the script better than 6, although not much better because it's complicated and I don't know how to make it less complicated. No one's paying me money to adapt stuff, so I don't have to figure that out.
Right.
But
I don't have a third scene. I don't have a third.
My third one, I had to take it all the way back to the open where it's Goodwin and he's looking at the car. And dude, the whole thing is like, it's just like a 1950s vignette where he's looking at this car and he's smoking a cigar and this car salesman's like giving him all the like quips and stuff.
Yeah.
And they turned on the radio and it was this freaking Sputnik satellite launching and it's like America's losing the space race.
Right.
And the whole time I just kept thinking to myself, Thunder Cougar fucking bird.
No dog food for Victor tonight.
No dog food for Victor tonight. The luxury model has so much more eagle.
When he touched the seat and he goes, "That's calf and pigskin," or whatever he said.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Ooh, eagle down."
The luxury model has so much more eagle.
Who wants waffles?
But also, dude, that opening I thought was fantastic. Like it was.
Yeah, it was.
I was like, I don't know what's going on or how this ties into the movie, but I'm like captivated by this open.
Who was Goodwin's wife?
Mira Sorvino.
Sorvino.
Yeah.
I like how she was like, "Well, I'm not the one that came home with the Cadillac catalog or whatever. What was it? Chrysler catalog." They kept having callbacks like that to earlier things that were throwaway lines, but for me, it helped the story keep moving, and I liked it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that stuff, like the source material for the script, was primarily a book that Goodwin wrote because he ended up like being a staff, like a member of JFK's White House, and
writing speeches and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think some of that stuff, like a lot of the scenes, like with his wife and with his brother, like probably those wouldn't be there if it wasn't from his book. Like he didn't really need to have a crisis of conscience about whether or not he was going to subpoena Van Doren. We probably could have skipped that part.
Yeah.
I don't know how much time that saves us, but there's a lot of that like inside baseball. Like, should we do this? And like, how do we get this guy? And then like I don't know, man. It's all really well done. I just the whole time was going like, I don't care.
Yeah.
So let's do quotes. What's your first quote?
All right. I didn't have a lot of those either.
Me neither.
There was one part where Stemple is just sitting in the living room with his kid, and he's just asking him questions, and the kid's answering him, just random questions. And there's one part where he just goes off on a John Turturro style rant where he's like pointing a lot, and he's like, you know why they called them Indians? Because Columbus thought he was in India. They're Indians because some white guy got lost. Only reason I threw that in there, I teach history every year on Columbus Day or near it. I make sure to talk about Columbus. You have no idea how many kids that I teach who are 16, 17, 18 years old that have no idea why they're called Indians.
Oh, dude, I completely believe that.
Like, why do you not know that? It baffles me every year. Like one year I actually even called a coworker in to like, "Hey dude, watch this." And then I tell him about it at the beginning of class. And he was like, what do you mean y'all don't know that? Like he was shocked also. Like so as soon as he said it, I'm like, cool. Well, they knew it back in the 50s. So why don't they know it now? I don't get it. I guess maybe nobody's ever told them. I can only blame them so much.
Yeah, the thing that I'm confused about is like I don't understand some of the like racial distinctions. Like how come Columbus, who's Italian, is a white guy, but Stemple, who's Jewish, is not? They both look white to me. Or like I don't like some people say like, well, Jewish people aren't white, they're Jewish. I'm like, well, I don't think I understand what white means then because
I
everyone
definitely
looks
don't
white
know
to me.
I don't know. I don't know what the difference is with all of that. But
If we want
I
to throw
tell
all that
you,
out, I'm fine with it, but I got to admit, I am confused.
I'm just as confused. I have no idea.
My first quote, and again, I didn't have any of my notes. I had to go look up quotes after the movie was done, and I found a lot of really good dialogue that I missed while the movie was happening.
Yeah.
But the first one is Goodwin is waiting to see the head of the network,
Yeah.
Robert Kittner, who's played by a guy named Alan Rich.
Alan Rich. That's
he
my
was
grandpa.
he was asking the secretary. He was like, because it's NBC. He goes, "Excuse me, do you think he might see me before the peacock molts?" and the secretary says, "Who are you with again?" He goes, "I'm with the United States Congress. Perhaps you've heard of them."
Yeah. Dude, and by the way, when he points at that NBC logo, that old school logo, I freaking love that logo.
Yeah,
They need to
dude.
bring that back.
I know,
It
man.
looks good.
And the production design for this movie is fantastic.
Yeah, they did a really good job. Yeah, his snarky, maybe you've heard of him. I almost put that down, but then I was like, no, not for me.
Yeah.
My second one is Charles Van Doren, and he's talking to his dad, and he said, I've stood on your shoulders, I stood on the shoulders of life, and I've never gotten down into the dirt to build and erect a foundation of my own. I've flown too high on borrowed wings. Everything came too easy. So just like you were talking about, like, he's had all the stuff given to him. He's living a good life, but because he's in his dad's shadow, he has to do the thing where he cheats on a quiz show, which is sort of like plagiarizing a comic strip, or whatever his dad says. That line was really cool.
Yeah, I like that part. I also like that I read one of the reviewers that said about this movie that it was like, it talked about the like Faustian bargain that Van Doren made, and I was like, oh man, Faustian bargain, that's a good one. I'm gonna read about that.
Yeah,
and it's you know, it's to like exchange like moral high ground for money
for stuff, right?
And I was like, man, that's such a perfect way to like do this. Freaking Faust sells his soul, and he gets you know, supreme knowledge and magical powers, and then he ends up in hell.
Yeah,
I was like, this Van Doren, that's what he did. He was a freaking professor at Columbus. Everyone liked him, and he wanted to go on TV, and so
professor at Columbia.
Yeah,
the fact that he got fired at the end just shows how far we've come, because it's so hard to get fired as a teacher now.
Yeah,
not for me. I feel like I'm scared to get fired, but I'm saying like there's other people that
just for the crappy teachers, they work
Right.
forever. My next quote was Herb Stimple talking to his wife. He says, "You want to be worshipped? Go to India and moo."
Yeah. I would venture to say that my students don't know that cows are sacred in India either.
Yeah, to Hindus.
There's so much that they don't know about, I guess, Indians of both kinds.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a public school, so I guess I'm not that upset that they don't know a lot about religion, except I know they do know plenty about particular religions, just not Hindu.
Other religions. Right, just not that one. But that seems like something you would know. I don't know. Maybe.
GW, my brother went there. Did you pledge? Every morning.
Dude, I don't even have a third quote. I just had those two. One from
My
Stepple,
third
one
quote
from
was
Van Doren.
just to like springboard into my rant about television is Goodwin at the end in the voiceover says when he realizes that the producers are not going to give up the network, they're just going to like fall on the sword. He's like, because he's like thinking, he's like, I'm going after TV. We're going to take them down. This is bullshit. They're lying to the American people. And the producers
not the
just
people,
go,
the TV.
The TV. And the producers just freaking eat it. They just go, no, it was all me. The network didn't know. The sponsors didn't know. So I made that decision. And then Goodwin in voiceover just says, I thought we were going to get television. The truth is, television's going to get us.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, even in 2024, that one still hits hard.
Super hard. And
then I was, and you and I both independently of one another without ever talking about it, decided to type up rants about television. I'm going to dive into mine and you jump in whenever you're ready. But I was thinking about that quote because of specifically what's happening with political discourse in America, the country that you and I live in.
Yes.
I'm going to just spit facts here for a second. Over-the-air broadcast companies like CBS, NBC, and ABC, they're licensed and regulated by the FCC. To be able to use the public airwaves, they have to meet regulatory guidelines, one of which is to provide public nightly news broadcasts. If you lie on those broadcasts, you can have your broadcast license revoked, and that means there's no more network.
Right.
So you have to provide the news, and you got to do a good job, or you won't be able to be NBC or ABC or CBS anymore. That's how that works.
Right.
So since TV started in the freaking 50s, we're used to getting our news from our TVs, and we've always been able to trust that news.
Right.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
Then we get into the early 2000s, and now we have cable news channels.
Right.
They are not broadcast over public airwaves. They're carried on cable owned by corporations, and the FCC does not and cannot regulate them in the same way. If you put a show on a cable channel and call it a news show, you can exaggerate or even fabricate stories to increase viewership and thus profit. You absolutely can, and people have.
Right. Sensationalize it. Yeah.
Yes, we know. This is not. Again, we're still in the arena of facts. Like, you can go and read actual text messages and emails from Fox News hosts and employees in the Dominion lawsuit from 2021 stating explicitly, straight from the horse's mouth, that they were making stuff up that they didn't believe in order to get people angry and keep them watching Fox.
Of course.
And they're not in trouble at all for that.
Right.
And when they're sued, they just straight up say, like, well, it's not news. Just because we call it news doesn't mean it's news. It's on cable.
I think it's 1 hour is the minimum amount that the FCC eventually said that they need to cover.
Right.
So 1 hour of the 24-hour news cycle has to be
right.
factual news.
So the problem is, like, when they say stuff like, we're making it all up to make people angry to get them to keep watching, they don't say that on Fox News. They say that in depositions that are not covered on Fox. So the people that are watching
never
it all
be
day,
covered. Right.
that's mostly old people who grew up with television news that you could trust. They don't ever hear that they're being lied to by this corporation in order to freaking rev up their heart rate so that they can sell more Geritol to them.
Oh, Geritol.
So
makes you poop.
So they're getting lied to, or really any of us that have cable news on anywhere, getting lied to by companies who have profit motives, not to give you news, not to educate you, but to keep you from changing the channel. That's really up. And that, I think, is a big, like, you and I were talking this week about the site Ground News, like ground.news.
Yeah.
It just is, it's a news aggregator, but with every article, it just says, like, where it came from, and it gives you, like, the political slant of the article.
Right.
And then it has, like, a little tab you can click on. It says, like, biases, and it'll tell you, like, hey, this article is biased in this direction and this one. But if you want to read other points of views about the same news story, here are some other ones.
Right, and it links it, which is cool.
Yeah.
That's what I liked about it.
But, like, you have to really expend a lot of effort and, like, care to go and find news that isn't, like, heavily slanted in one direction or another.
So I'm very glad that you just said that at the end, because that's the kicker, is the care part. You and I care to get the right information. Or we can look at a website, because we've been looking at websites since the beginning of websites, because we were born before them. And we know, hey, this is a pretty crappy website. We probably shouldn't follow this. Or we know that, hey, this is probably opinion. We can tell. Even the people that can't need to be able to click on stuff. Dude, I have people that send me stuff all the time, and I'm like, okay, that's awesome. That comes from redstate.org.
Yeah.
I can already tell you it's slanted one way to make you feel a certain way. Here's the same story from a different way. I can send it to that person. Are they going to read it? Hell no. And they don't care. So I've gotten to the point where I try to my best to make sure that the people I know that do change their information or change their mind, like my kids, if they hear somebody say something, I go, hey, by the way, that guy is telling it in a way that makes you feel a certain way, and that's not really how it should be taken. Here's the actual facts. I make sure to say that. For those other people, I just assume they're going to die soon, and I don't have to worry about that. They're not dying soon enough, but I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? But
the ones that are going to die soon, I'll just go, like, cool, maybe that. But, like, I worry that problem is not going to be solved by baby boomers dying off, because there's plenty of people our age that are just, like, blaring Fox News loudly all day.
There are people
wearing American flag T-shirts and, like, yelling about, like, the borders being open. And I'm like, man, you guys don't really have a handle on, like, what's actually going on. And like you're saying, like, you don't really care. And I don't know how to fix caring.
But even on the other side,
we need to figure out a good way to explain to people when they're young how to tell when you read something whether it's nonsense or not, because people don't know that, and it's hard because, like, you can make money by tricking people, and that means people are gonna.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I worry that you and I, because of the way that we think about stuff, sound like we lean one way or the other, and we kind of do. But it happens on the other side too. I have people in my life that are freaking hippies and watch MSNBC all the time, and they're outraged about stuff that maybe they shouldn't be outraged about. We talked about that too. The whole, Yes, Palestine's a bad thing. Let's talk about some other things that are closer to home that we can fix.
It's not a secret which way that I lean, and I'm progressive as hell for America, which means I'm very central for like the rest of the developed world. But like, if somebody posts something, it's like, oh man, you hear about this new hydrogen car? 9,000 miles to the charge. It doesn't cost anything. Big Oil's keeping it down. I'm like, okay, that would be awesome. But I know that's bullshit because I know that that's not how the science works. And sometimes I go look it up and I'm like, maybe there's some new breakthroughs. It's like, oh, there's some experimental thing that someone did in the lab and they projected that if we built a car, it would have these capabilities. But we don't have it yet.
But we don't have the
like
car
maybe
yet.
Maybe in 25 or 30 years. And then I'll have to tell one of my friends who's like freaking, grows his own tea leaves and like wears sandals made out of hemp. And like, hey man, that's awesome. But like, we're actually not there yet. We got a ways to go.
Oh yeah.
At the same time, when I'm telling like my other friends who have freaking goatees and camouflage hats, like actually no one wants to take your guns. No one's suggesting that.
Right.
And then like everyone's mad at me and I'm just going like, I didn't come up with any of this. I'm just trying to figure out what's actually happening and what's just people trying to make me mad.
I wish there was a way for me to just go like, all right, this right here. I don't know, man.
We got to figure out a better way to educate people when they're young as to like, hey, people can just type anything online. They can make a video saying anything, and you'll go like, oh, dude, if I wear this bracelet, it'll cure arthritis. It's like, no, dude, that's not how bracelets work or arthritis. You shouldn't spend money on that. But like, we need to be able to tell. I don't care how awesome Dan Marino was. You shouldn't get a reverse mortgage. That's a bad idea almost all the time. I just want to get some information out there to people because like it's hurting us as a society and it's moving money from the few of us like that have a little bit to the people that have almost all of it.
Yeah. That's
and then when everyone's hungry and it's real hot outside, I think things are going to go really badly.
It'll go really badly until somebody learns about how France does it. And then they'll just burn this bitch down.
Dude, I'm all the time suggesting let's burn it down, but no one likes that idea.
No,
because there's freaking Storage Wars is on, or Naked and Afraid, or freaking one of the Kardashian shows.
Housewives. I love the Housewives.
That's the end of my quotes as well.
Yeah.
Characters, John Turturro. That's my guy.
Dude, John Turturro's first. For reals too. When you think about John Turturro, what's the first movie you think of?
I always think about Rounders.
See, I think about Rounders, and then I think about Brain Donors.
Yeah, see, after Rounders, I also think about Big Lebowski because he's freaking delightful in that.
When he's licking the ball. John Turturro's great. I freaking love him.
He's the best, man. And he gained like 25 pounds for this role. I just like that he's just one of those guys that like, he's like, yeah, this character needs to be chubby. I'm gonna work on that.
What's up with his tooth?
I don't know. I don't
know.
On
the right side of his foot.
I don't know if they blacked it out for the movie because he was talking about needing to get his teeth fixed, or if he
I think they blacked it out because I don't remember ever seeing that. Yeah. But dude, I put him first too. Herb Stempel, he killed it.
He's awesome, man. He had a bunch of great lines. He just I'd still to this, even after having watched the movie and researched it and talked about it, I still don't know if Herb Stempel was like a good person or actually was kind of a crazy person. Because he was like doing both in the movie. I'm like, I could see why he's annoyed. I would kind of be annoyed too. And I'm also like, this guy's freaking losing it.
I think the way that it was portrayed to us in the movie, I think like, how they kept saying, oh yeah, he went to see a psychiatrist. We paid for it and all that. And then they bring that back up again on in the when he goes in front of Congress. Like, I think we're meant to think that he might be a little crazy. If you're part of the general public, that's what you're hearing from people. And that's going to be the takeaway when you watch it on cable news.
But then when they would say that he was crazy, instead of like reacting calmly and normally, he would just kind of fly off the handle. I was like, well, that makes you look crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was freaking, because the producer was like, go see my analyst. I'll pay for it. And then he did. And they're like, this guy's freaking crazy. He's going to see a psychiatrist. It's like, dude, you told me to do that. And then you paid for it.
Yeah. You're the one that told me to do it. Yeah, dude, freaking John Turturro. Oh, brother, where art thou? The next one is Ralph Fiennes. He killed it.
He's good, man. He's good at acting. I like that he's good at acting and that he does a bunch of different stuff. Like, I just don't, like, Daniel Day-Lewis is always my favorite example of a guy who's good at acting, but is way too serious about it.
He doesn't strike me as that kind of guy.
Like Ralph Fiennes doesn't seem like, dude, he was in the freaking Lego Batman movie. He was in all the Harry Potter films. I don't see Daniel Day-Lewis doing that.
Yeah,
like,
he strikes me as the have you tried acting kind of guy. I feel like that's how he rolls. Yeah, dude, I picked him too. He was fantastic in Schindler's List, what we did before. Like you said, he was terrifying. I like how when he was in the car, he wanted to wait for the crowd to come out, for the classes to change and everybody to walk outside before he walks in, pretended to tie his shoe, and then so he could go in and be around all the people. That was awesome. And just his ability to show how much pain he had, but still like smile about it and put on a mask of being really happy with what was going on was really great. You could really tell it. And I thought it was a great job.
Yeah, man, for sure. And he's kind of, I don't know that much about it because I'm not one of those people who was like, oh, the royal family, I'm super into that. But I think he's like, so his full name is Ralph Nathaniel Twizzleton Wickham Fiennes.
I knew Twizzleton.
Yeah, and that surname is like some kind of like, it's like goes back to some 16th century baron of something or other.
Nice.
So I don't know, maybe in England, like everyone's related to a baron, but but yeah, I think he might be kind of royalty-ish.
I have a feeling that if we were in a 24-hour news cycle, we could talk about how former President Trump was related to a baron, but it's his son, so that doesn't really count. But
yeah, not actual royalty. He just named him Baron.
Yeah, he did. Who's your third one?
My third one was kind of tough. The guy that played Richard Goodwin, Rob Morrow, did a really good job.
I liked him. That's who I picked.
All right, we'll talk about him because I got some other folks that I was also considering.
Yeah, I just really, I like him. So what was it? A Boston? They said something in the movie. Oh, where are you from? Boston, and he said something else, but I missed it. I like the way he played this.
Yeah,
I really liked.
Well, he was coming off of Northern Exposure, which was a huge show, and he was one of the leads. And he kind of, I don't think he, at least what I read was like he was pretty carefully choosing his projects. And then this one was like, oh, this is a great script. Robert Redford's directing. He's awesome. Like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And I was like reading through he's done a ton of movies, a ton of television. I've not seen any of it.
But he's
clearly done a bunch of stuff.
He is Albert Brooks's brother in Mother.
In Mother, I did see that. I forgot he was in that. But now
he is so good at that.
When we watched that in '96, I will remember that. But I was like, man, this guy could have done. Seems like he should have a bigger career than he ended up having because he's really good.
Yeah, he is good at what he does.
And dude, I was just like looking at like freaking Shooter McGavin, Christopher McDonald. He's the host. He doesn't have that much to do, but I love that guy. And you could tell he was kind of like, yeah, he's like talking to me. He's like, he's like, is it my nose look good? He's like, is it lit right? Like, and when people are kind of freestyling on the show, it's live TV. He's like you could tell he's like trying to play it off. He's doing a good job. Hank Azaria is in this. I freaking love Hank Azaria.
Real fast, can I just interject here? Hank Azaria is in a TV show called Brockmire.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was you or Will that told me about it. I'm sorry that I never watched it until now, but I'm on season 3 right now. It's a great show. That guy's a fantastic actor.
Yeah, dude, Hank Azaria is freaking great. So, like, the other people I consider were Christopher McDonald, Shooter McGavin, Hank Azaria, and then I thought about Mira Sorvino, but I went with you on Rob, because Rob Morrow, because he's the other like real lead. He did a great job. Like this whole thing, man. This freaking everybody's doing a good job.
Yeah, they did.
You want to spend some time talking about the director, Robert Redford?
I love Robert Redford. He's pretty good. There's a movie he did that I like, which is A Natural, and that's the only one.
He was doing A River Runs Through It in '92. He was in it, and he was also directing it. And he had said he was looking for a project that was going to be like a little bit more snappy. Like we could move the camera around more because that one's just like you just set up in the woods and you fly fish all day.
Right.
He's like, I need to do something that's a little bit more, a little snappier than this. And then he saw this. He wanted to do it. But dude, like his direction, like River Runs Through It, I like. Quiz Show, I like. Legend of Bagger Vance, I like. Like he's done some good movies.
Again, I probably shouldn't hate him. And I don't even know, I can't even remember why I said I hated him. I think I just said he had a punchable face or he just looks smug.
Yeah.
But for reals, like there's nothing, he's great.
No, you not liking Robert Redford is great. That was because we were doing Sneakers, I think in 92, and you're like, Robert Redford, I'm sick of that guy. It's like, that guy's awesome. Everyone loves Robert Redford. You're like, no, don't like him. He's a jerk.
Dude, I'm not...
And then we did River Runs Through It, and you're like, that guy can...
Yeah, he can go kick rocks. But the point is, he did a good job on this.
Yeah, dude. You didn't like The Last Castle?
What the fuck? Is that the
Last Castle where he was where he was the general and he got sent to prison? Got sent to army prison? Yeah, I kind of like that one. 2001.
I'm not going to be around for that.
Dude, I don't know where you think you're going in the next 6 years. Screenplay by Paul Adanasio, who he's got nominated twice for Academy Awards for adapted screenplay. One for Quiz Show in '94, and then one for Donnie Brasco in '97.
Donnie Brasco, yeah. He also did Sphere, and I freaking love the book Sphere, and the movie was actually kind of good.
Yeah, I don't remember the movie all that well, but I do love that book.
I think
he also wrote Disclosure.
It's called Disclosure, you dickhead.
He's adapted some pretty popular books, man. Some of All Fears, Sphere, Disclosure. Those are all like big books.
What is Some of All Fears? Is that
that's Tom Clancy?
Clancy? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Ben Affleck one.
Yeah.
And then I just had like cameos from like Martin Scorsese, Ethan Hawke, Callista Flockhart.
All those, the fact that they had all those different directors in those little small parts, that was cool.
Yeah, no, that was awesome. All right, man, you got any more good?
Yes, two things. One, they did a really good job. I just want to mention it again at the making it look like the 1950s.
Yeah.
Fantastic job. Second, there's a part where Van Doren is talking in the booth, in a phone booth. And there's a guy like, oh my God, do I know you? I know you. Do you know who that was?
No.
That was Mario Cantone from, him from Sex and the City with Kat. But
yeah,
like he's in a ton of stuff. He is hysterical. And he just kept banging on the door of the phone booth while he was talking on the phone. That was him.
Worst, I didn't really capture any worst. I mean, I already gave my rant about TV lying to us, which we didn't know then, but now we know, and that sucks.
Yeah. That's where I put my rant also.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have any other worst. I did have some worst effects, not worst effects, old tech.
Yeah.
Again, it looked like the 50s, dude. I don't know. Like, I know that there's prop houses that just have all this stuff. It was really well done.
Dude, the thing that I was like kind of just floored by was at the very end when John Turturro was getting ready to do his thing before the committee was getting dressed. His freaking boxer shorts were like Allen Iverson's basketball shorts. They were like mid-calf, and they were freaking so baggy. And I was like, dude, did boxer shorts used to be like pants that you wore under your pants? That's crazy.
Oh, pantaloons. Yes, they were. Yeah, those were huge. I saw those too. I like it.
Old tech, it's set in the 50s, but honestly, man, I thought everything, all the period stuff was freaking fantastic.
Yeah, they did really well.
And all right, 5 questions. Is it okay for kids?
Dude, like you said, it's kind of convoluted and crazy and hard to follow. So
yeah, I don't think they would enjoy it, but it didn't seem like there was any like adult content other than it's just not that fun.
Right. That's what I said. I would have let my 6-year-old watch it, but she wouldn't enjoy it.
Yeah. Would it get made if it was pitched now? Dude, I'm sure if Robert Redford wanted to direct and produce, someone would probably give him money to do it. But
could you make it on this story? How about this? Could you make it on the Fox News story that you brought up? Like, hey, they got.
If you want to get people freaking shooting up your opening, you can. Grand opening, grand closing.
The only way to stop that is a good guy with a gun. Yeah, dude. I was just saying, what I put on there is like, there's ongoing interest in media ethics always, and there's always scandals. I'm sure you could make it again on a different.
Dude, I think
scandal.
it's a good story. I don't know. I mean, you have a lot more contact with teenagers than I do. Not in a weird way, just because you're a high school teacher. But like, does anyone care?
I'm fingering the pulse of America's youth.
Does anyone care about the 50s, or do we need to go like?
No, you'd have. Yeah, you would have to pick more recent. You go 40 years back from now.
Yeah.
So you pick something that happened in the 80s.
Pick some scandal from the 80s. Everyone did a lot of coke. TV was really fun. I don't know where the scandal is.
That is the scandal.
So yeah, I guess movie or TV show. I would do movie.
Gotta be movie.
It was complicated enough that you could make it like a freaking limited series TV show,
Right.
but I'm
Yeah,
not watching. Did you do any recasting?
I did. I
All right,
did.
who you got?
Charles Van Doren is now starring Timothy Chalamet
Yeah.
because he's likable, and I think he could do that. Herb Stempel is now an angry Adam Driver,
Yeah.
and Richard Goodwin is played by Mr. Robot Rami Malek.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, I like that. I was trying to think. I also came up with Timothy Chalamet. I was trying to think of who would be a good, like Herb Stempel. I like, you said Adam Driver. That's a good one. I was trying to think of I want to get Jesse Plemons in there. I like that guy.
Ooh,
He's super
yeah.
weird.
Yeah, he is. I like him.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, dude, I'd rewatch it if it was those guys.
Yeah. Can you still watch and enjoy this in 2024? I think it's worth a watch.
Yeah, it's worth a watch for sure. I don't know that I'll watch it. Will you ever rewatch it past 2024?
I don't know why. That
What if it comes up that you said like, oh yeah, back in the 50s there was this, you're telling your kid, there's the 50s, there's a scandal on TV, on shows like this, and they were giving people the answers. There's a movie about it. I can show it to you. Do you have 2.5 hours?
Yeah.
That's the problem. I don't think I'll ever be able to pull it out and say.
I feel like by the time I could have that conversation with my kid, he'll be like, is there a TikTok of it you could send me? I don't want to sit for 2 hours and 10 minutes to learn about that.
Please, can you narrow this down to 15 seconds and put the words on there that somebody speaks? Because if I can't read the words while the person's saying them, I'm out.
Yeah, I want to get through this really quickly. I'm kind of interested, but not 2 hours worth of interested. Yeah, man. I couldn't find it streaming anywhere. I rented it on Google, but it's also for rent on Amazon Prime and other places.
It's definitely worth the rent, though. If you've never seen it and you're interested in the story, you should definitely watch it.
All right, man. I think that's everything. What's the
next one?
I don't even remember. Lion King.
Hell yes! I love that.
Some time.
Yeah, live action Lion King's really good. I like it. Oh wait, the cartoon?
We're doing the 94 version.
Just kidding. Yeah, dude, I'm excited about Lion King. Hell yes.
Did you see, by the way, that Whoopi in the cast of Sister Act 2 went on a bunch of TV shows like in the last few weeks to celebrate the 30th anniversary, even though it's the 31st anniversary?
And nobody mentioned our podcast at all.
No, but people did go back and download it because clearly they were searching like, I want to learn about Sister Act 2 on podcasts, and
that's awesome.
Downloaded ours.
That's great.
But I was like, dude, speaking of finger in the pulse.
Tell your friends if they want to know about Sister Act 2, we got it on there.
Yeah, man. We got Ryan Toby talking to Merv Warren, the guy who composed all the choir music. Dude, that was a fun one.
Yeah, it was awesome. Super fun.
All right. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks for Lion King.
Lion King. That's great.
Vaya con Dios.
Vaya con Dios.
Thanks for listening to Movie Life Crisis. Please subscribe, rate, and review. And remember, don't drive angry.